I paid $300 for this ROG Ally X from a viewer named Cameron. Cameron said he just recently got it this summer. He noticed the volume button was stuck down, was hoping to quickly tear it down to spray some BW100 in the volume button, but unfortunately, he broke the battery connector. So in this video, we're gonna open this thing up and see if we can fix it. Now, as Cameron says here, one of the cool things about ASUS is you can actually buy the connector right from their parts website. Now, I did buy the connector from there, but unfortunately it hasn't been sent yet, and I'm ready to get on with this video. So, I'm gonna see if I can take this battery connector from this ROG Ally and use it on the board for the Ally X. But first, we need to get this Ally X apart and see what that connector looks like. And also what the board looks like and if it looks fixable. I think we just have these 6 screws to remove, and it should come apart. All right, and then we're gonna do some prying on this shell. Okay, we just have this one cable. We need to not mess up. There we go. And now the back cover is off. Okay, what do we have? Yeah, I can already see right in there. That's where the battery connector's been torn off. Now, I don't think the seller included the old battery connector, but we need to get down to this board. So I'm gonna remove this battery and probably need to remove the SSD, probably the fan as well. Now, since I have not done very many of these, I am gonna go ahead and mark these screws because these are case screws that go down here. So I wanna make sure to not put a screw back in there. Although I can remember pretty well just to not put screws in the bottom, but I'm just marking them anyway. Okay, battery is removed. Now also I want to check this battery connector, and it looks fine. The seller did smartly wrap some Kapton tape around that so it didn't actually accidentally connect to anything. That all looks good. Okay. So let's remove this fan and the SSD. There we go. Now I've got one more screw for the fan, it looks like, and then some adhesive on the top here. Okay, there we go. Then I do need to remove the fan from this connector right here. I'm going to use a pair of very sharp needle nose pliers. If you decide to do it this way, be very careful. It's really easy to break stuff. And there we go. Okay, now I think to really see what's going on here, let's get under the microscope so we can get a really good view of it. So here we have all the pads that have been torn off along with the connector. We have one pad that is still intact. These two up here are the mounting pads, which need to be rebuilt. And then we've got this one going to this pad, this little trace going to this pad, this bigger one going over to this pad, and then we've got this one going to this pad. This is the ground plane. This is the positive plane. I think what I'll do is move the connector over this way slightly. So I'll grind off an area here to mount it to, and then try and grind off an area here as well. I'm not sure what is under this solder mask, but it should be a ground plane. I can't quite tell if it is though. It looks like maybe there's a little circuit trace connecting to the ground plane right here, but I can't quite tell. So I'm gonna try and do that first, see if we can get a nice solid mount, and then I'll probably use some super glue and glue it down. And then what we need to do is run a wire from here. I'm actually gonna run it down here and then to the back of the connector, and then down here and to the back right here, down here to the back right here, and then a wire from this pin over to this area. So the next thing I'm gonna do is grind off all the areas that I need to grind off, and then I will remove the connector from the donor board, and then we will install it onto this board. I'm actually going to grind off this area first and see if there's anything to solder a mounting pin to, and if not, then I will have to rebuild kind of a place for that pin to mount to, although I also may just use some epoxy and epoxy it down. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. There is nothing there. So, given that there's nothing on either side of this to do any soldering to, I think what I'm going to do is make sure there's a strong solder joint here, and then I'll use some epoxy or CA glue to glue this side down. I'm going to grind off an area over here so we have a place to solder to. So this is the donor board. I do need to remove this whole board because we need to heat from the bottom side of this board to get this connector off safely. But also I need to see what's on the bottom side and see if we can even do that. I think we can, but I'm not totally sure. So I'm just gonna keep taking this thing apart and get this board out, and then we'll know what we can do. And there we go. Now the connector's right here, so we need to heat right here. We do have a bunch of components here, but the heat shouldn't matter to those at all, and we just need to heat it enough to remove this connector. So I have marked out the area that I need to heat, so I'm going to heat right in this area. I'm going to use my tweezers to pull from the underside just very gently, and as I heat, eventually that connector will just fall off. You know, hopefully. I'm going to speed this up. It's going to be kind of boring to watch because you won't be able to see the connector fall off, but I'll at least show a little bit of it here. Got it. And just for reference, that took about 4 minutes of time. So this is how a board should look when you remove the battery connector. You can see that all of the pads are intact. Nothing's been torn from the board. Now that we've harvested that part, let's get this board out of the way and install that connector onto this board. So this is the connector that we harvested. And the first thing I want to do is reflow all these little pins. That will remove the solder that's currently on it, at least most of it, and also make sure all the pins are laying nice and flat. Since we need this to fit nice and flush on the board that I'm installing it onto, we need to make sure that there's no bulges holding up the connector. So that pin looks good. Yep, that pin looks good. Now we just got to do the same thing for all of these pins. And there we go. Whoop. Now you can see it. So that's what we want it to look like. All right, so my plan here is to tin this pad. So I'm going to add some flux and some solder. Once I tin that, I'm going to bring the connector in and solder that one pin down. Then we'll use CA glue to glue the rest of it down, and then we'll do all the work for restoring the traces. So here's a little bit of flux. And I'll just bring in some solder on my large iron. Solder that down. I'm also going to touch this to make sure we don't have a bunch of solder on that. Now it actually looks like there's quite a bit of solder on that, so I'm gonna bring my iron in and remove a little bit of that. All right, now we can bring in our connector. And we need to be just about right there. Okay, so that's done. Now to join these two pieces together, I'm going to try a little bit of an experiment. I'm going to use some CA glue accelerator out of this little tube right here. There we go. And then I'm going to come in with the actual CA glue. Unfortunately, I didn't get the shot of applying the super glue because my card ran out of memory, but this is the little dab of super glue right here, and it is very hard. So the super glue accelerator worked really well, and this is on here really solidly. Now I will reinforce this once we're done with actually fixing these circuit traces right here, but I'm gonna call this good for now. Once I get the wires on, I'll probably put conformal coating all around those as well. So now that we have that done, it's time to actually do the trace repairs. I first need to burn off the conformal coating on the very end of this wire. I don't know why I said conformal coating, that's not what it is. Once the coating is burned off, I will add a little bit of solder to the end of the wire. Then we'll come over here and add some flux. Now we should be able to solder our wire on right there. Okay, and there we go. And now we'll do this wire and this wire. So I'll readjust the view here and then come back and get those wired in. So this pin, we connect here and then right here. Okay, and then we just need to connect it right there. Great connection, if I do say so myself. All right, and there we go. Okay, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now I need to carefully grind away some of the red solder mask. And then some of this solder mask right over here. This is for the power plane. Now with that done, we can add some flux. Now I'm gonna come through and tin those up. By that I mean just adding some solder there. This is gonna make this all easier to solder the wires on. Now we'll do our iron work. Okay, trimmed up the wires pretty good. I'm gonna try and get a bunch of the flux off with my cotton swab. Won't be able to get it all, but should be able to get some of it. Okay, we've got it all clean. Now I'm going to reinforce everything with more CA glue, and then I'll add conformal coating that will protect the wires and the circuits. And then after that's all done, we can finally put this thing back together and see if it's gonna work. Okay, all glued down. Now time for the conformal coating. I like using this really thin stuff because that will help to flow under the connector. And it is handy that it's red because it will just match the board on this. Putting plenty of it on here to make sure we got a lot of good protection there for those wires. Okay, there we go. Now I just got to let that dry and then we can test it. Now while we're waiting for that to dry, let's look at the original problem that the seller of this ROG Ally was having. So here's the volume buttons. This is one side, and you can see this little button right here that's attached to the board. This pin touches on it and pushes it down, just like that. The other side, you can see there's this gap there. So pushing on the outer button doesn't actually do anything with this inner button because the inner button seems, is stuck. Okay, now it's sort of okay, but it keeps getting stuck down. So I'm actually going to use a little bit of BW100. That should clean it up. And let's see if that'll just loosen that up so it works appropriately. So here we go with BW100. There we go. Just kind of working that in there really well, as good as I can. Okay, and that is actually working just as well as the other side now. Now there could have been just some gunk or something that got in there and caused it to kind of get stuck down in there. Maybe something, something got between this button and the case and flowed down in there, maybe some soda or something and just made it a little bit sticky. Either way, that is working great. All right, with that being fixed, let's get this thing back together and see if all this work made this thing work. So getting this thing back together, let's get the fan installed. So this is just going to go in like that. There we go. And we make sure that it is fully seated down right here to make sure we're not getting a bunch of airflow loss through here. Now the test to see if the battery will, first of all, fit on there and then plug in correctly. Maybe should have left that fan off to do that. I don't want it to be all awkward trying to fit it on there because I want to make sure that I have plenty of room to get it on there okay. No, that's going to work fine, I think. Okay, the connector, the locking tab is all the way back. Can we hook it on? Oh yeah. Easy. Oh. There we go. Okay, good. The lock goes in like that. Okay, and we're good. Okay. I feel like this, I don't know where that goes. Just like that, I guess. Okay, that all looks good. Ah! Should probably install the SSD, huh? Might need that. Man, I just got that all snapped down. That's the hardest part of putting this thing back together. Let's move this over to the side. Undo the SSD screw. Install the SSD. I'm assuming the battery goes over that. The battery cable, that's awkward. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right, now with that connected, we can put the screw in. Holds it down. There we go. All right. Now we can put the back cover on. Snapping it down again. Okay, it's all done. Let's plug it in. Do you think it's gonna work? I really hope so. That was a lot of work. That took a long time. Okay, here we go. Plugging in the charge cable. No lights. Oh, charge light. Yes, that's good, but will it turn on? Oh, good news. Yeah, it will. So this ROG Ally X is totally fixed. I love the fact that ASUS provides parts for their devices that makes them so much more repairable. Obviously, I've got a little more testing to do on this, but so far this is working great. And Cameron, thanks for reaching out to sell me this device. If you want to see a video where I try and fix 8 broken handheld PCs of all various manufacturers, I'll put a link for that video up on your screen now, so come hang out with me over there and see if I can fix them. Thanks so much for watching today, and I hope you have a good one.